Hey everyone, Boris Mosheyev here, your favorite tax guy, and today we're going to be talking about this tax strategy that I really love. It has a lot of components to it, but we're going to just hire one basic component, and this is called income shifting. Income shifting to your family members, income shifting to your children, whatever it is, right? There's so many different strategies that you can use legally to shift the income to a lower bracket or no bracket at all. And the thing what we're going to talk about today is hiring your children. And this is one of the great tax strategies that you can use, and we're going to get into details of what is hiring your children and so forth, right? So let's just put it here, hiring children, and excuse my handwriting. Okay, so hiring your children. First of all, before we get into this, I just want to educate you or give you some knowledge about how the tax system works, especially with the new tax law, right? So everybody in America, it doesn't matter who it is, if you are filing your taxes, you're working in America, or whatever it is, right? If you are working and you're a single individual, you can earn up to $12,000 per year and not pay any income tax for it. That's the reason that people get back tax refunds, right? What it's called. When you're working and you're making, let's say you worked and you made $10,000 for the year, and there were tax withholdings, federal tax withholdings. So now you file your taxes to show the government, hey, I made less than $12,000, and they will refund you back the federal taxes that you paid, okay? And so this is where the strategy comes in with hiring your children. So you can shift up to $12,000 to your child and not have to pay any tax on it. But your child has to legitimately work in your business, and you have to document it and so forth, and we can provide some guidance on that if you need to. But just to explain this idea, just to explain the strategy, right? So like I said, everybody in America can work up to can earn up to $12,000, any single individual, and not pay any income tax on it. Now, why is this strategy so important for business owners? Number one, you can avoid paying federal taxes. Okay? So up to $12,000. So you shift up to $12,000 to your children, you pay them for the work that they do, and you don't have to pay, you write that off as a business expense, and they don't have to report it as an income. As a matter of fact, it's a good practice. What I recommend to my clients is that the child still files his tax return, but he's not going to end up any taxes on it, okay? The next thing about it is that if you have employees in your business, you probably know that for all the employees that you pay FICA taxes, right? Which is the Social Security tax and the Medicare tax, okay? So we're at 6.2, 1.45% here, right? And that's 7.65%. So you as an employer, every time you hire somebody, this is your expense. For every $100 that you pay to your employee, you pay $7.65, right? That's a payroll tax expense. Guess what? When you're hiring your children and you're paying them up to $12,000, you're actually exempt from FICA tax. So you don't even have to pay the payroll tax of 7.65%, and they don't have to pay 7.65%, okay? That's gone. So it's a great strategy. If you got children, put them to work in your business. If it's summertime, hey, they can do some shredding in your office. If you own rental properties, let them do some maintenance. Document their hours, pay them on a W-2. You're gonna end up saving so much money in tax. So we're gonna talk about which entity this works best for, whether it's an LLC or an S-Corp, right? We're gonna talk about that in a second, but just to give you an example, if you are in a 30% bracket and you hire two of your kids, and that's $24,000, please find them enough work to pay them $24,000, okay? You multiply that by 30%, you are saving, help me out here, $7,200 in taxes, okay? This is how much money you will save. All you have to do is take your kids. Now, kids obviously have to be old enough, right? You cannot hire a 3-year-old, right? But we can do a 9-year-old, a 10-year-old can do some paperwork in your office, some filing. I especially work with a lot of attorneys. They got so many files, it's not even funny. It's like papers all over the place, right? Shredding. Kids could be old enough, 13 or 14-year-old kids. They can be answering your phones in the summertime, whatever it is. My clients always have kids coming in the summertime and working for them. As a matter of fact, we even use this strategy. Now, one caveat I will say, I'm going to say one thing I didn't mention is that the child has to be under the age of 18, right? Under. So it has to be under the age of 18. So I have clients who have children in college, and we still use this strategy because it still works even though they end up paying the FICA taxes. The FICA tax exclusion only works if the child is under the 18. So I have clients who have kids at college, they come in the summer, they help their parents. And I have attorney clients whose kids are in law school and they come in and pay and do some legal work, right? So this is a great strategy. Now let's talk about different types of entities and which entity does this work for. So we're going farther here, sir. So bear with me, right? So we've got, for example, I'm going to use two of the most basic and the most common entities types, right? So a single member LLC, or even a partnership, where it can be single member or multi-member LLC, and then we got a S corp or a C corp. Okay, so here's the thing: if you're going to pay your child up to $12,000 in both of these entities, the child doesn't have to pay tax on it, right? No tax, up to $12,000 from each one of these entities. But the FICA tax, the Social Security, Medicare, if you're paying out of the single member LLC and multi-member LLC, you don't have to pay FICA tax. But over here, you do have to pay FICA tax. So now you're saying, well, Boris, it's 15.3% FICA tax. Am I still saving money on taxes? The answer is yes. If you're in a 30% bracket, if you're in a 30% bracket and the FICA tax is 15.3% between you and your child, you're still saving about 15% in taxes. But let's say you want to save 30%. Say, is there a way around it for me, Boris? I'm actually in a 20% bracket. What can I do? Here's the strategy for you. With most of my clients, their spouse works for the business. And when I ask them, well, does your spouse help you in the business? Oh yeah, she comes in, like I said, I work with a lot of attorney clients. Say, yes, my spouse actually manages my staff. My spouse actually does the billing for us and she does the bookkeeping for us. Well, does the spouse work in the office? The answer is sometimes no, sometimes yes. So you have to establish, hey, hold on a second. First of all, can we qualify the spouse as a contract? Does she have to be in the office? Does she have to be W-2 employee? Or does she work her own hours? Great. Why don't we create what's called a family management company? Let's create a new LLC under the wife's name. So the wife or the spouse, the husband, right, runs the family management company. It's a legal LLC. It has a bona fide business purpose, which is to provide managerial or administrative services to your firm or any other firms, right? So now when you are creating an LLC, you can hire your children under this LLC and then avoid FICA tax. And then you don't have to pay FICA taxes. Does that make sense to you? Do you see what I'm doing here? You've got two entities. Under a corporation, C Corp or an S Corp, you have to pay FICA taxes. So you're not really saving that much or as much as you would want to at a 15% or if you're 20%. So how do you go around it? Well, let's get creative. This is why tax planning is so important. You cannot do this at the end of the year when you come to file your taxes, right? You got to talk to a tax planner and be like, all right, this is my situation. My wife works for me. This is what we do. Can we set up a family management company? Can it have a bona fide business purpose? The answer is yes, because if she's providing managerial services to you, well, guess what? It's number one, we can create the bona fide could be the liability purpose. The second thing could be she's looking to expand her business and provide managerial services to other law firms or whatever it is that they're doing. Create a family management company. Have the kids work for a family management company. Let them work for a spouse, right? And they can work in the home office. That's just now we got another strategy over there, which is right off the home office and whatever it is. So this is the tax strategy for today, which is hiring your children and also creating a family management company to get out of this. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Boris Mushev. I'm a tax planner and a tax strategist. We don't just pride ourselves to preparing business taxes or doing bookkeeping and all that beautiful stuff that doesn't really save you money on taxes, right? You need proactive tax planning, and these are the types of things that we can help you. Now, this is income shifting with family management company setup, but there's so many other strategies you can use to shift income to your children, to your spouse, whatever it is, in other different ways. This is just one of them. Stay tuned for more strategies. Thanks so much. Till the next time. Oh, ready?
Yep.
Okay, cool. Hey, everyone. Thanks for watching my YouTube channel. Subscribe below if you want more of the tax strategies. We are releasing a lot of tax strategies. These tax strategies will save you tons of money in taxes. This is not a tax preparation or bookkeeping or anything of that sort. We're talking about tax strategies and tax planning. Go ahead, hit the subscribe button so you can be notified when we have more tax strategies out there. Till the next time.